YouTube, what's going on? YouTube, what's going on? What is happening, man? Of course, it's your guy, one more time, DEDRICKHICKSJR, and I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell good, family. Hopefully, everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic. Positive energy, positive vibes. Y'all know how we get down here in this channel, man. Positive vibes only. All right, so we're back with another week. Another video of the weekly rotation, and favorite video to do each and every week. I make that very clear. And again, this week I feel like I had a pretty solid week. So a different dynamic for me this week. I was on vacation from work all week long, but we still had a lot going on. Christmas shopping and doctor's appointments and stuff with the kids and Christmas party at the end of the week. So still had a full and eventful week, and really enjoyed my experience with these fragrances. So let's go ahead and tap in, covering every fragrance that I wore during the week of December the 8th. Again, 144 straight weeks of doing this video, man, which is kind of nuts when you stop for a second to think of it. All right, I don't know if I've done anything for 144 straight weeks, is probably except breathe for that amount of time. But let's go ahead and tap in. On Sunday, it was cold. The weather this week, especially to start off the week, was very cold. Last day of work before vacation, and the night before I was just going through some of my fragrances in my collection, and this one just pauses me every time. The note of plum is one of my favorite notes, and this is a dark, juicy plum, rum, vanilla, spices. It's amazing. From the house of Scent of Woods, we have plum and cognac. So I customized my bottle from the all black bottle to the ivory and gold bottle. That's why my bottle looks like this. You can do that on the website. But even off the cap, man, dark, juicy plum, rum, just a big time boozy, spicy effect with this fragrance. This is, plum japonais, which is very hard to get or get your nose on. That's probably the best one I've ever smelled, but this is right there. I'm talking about literally right there, plum and cognac. And normally I wouldn't even wear this to work, but it was that cold and I was just in the mood for it. Normally I would wear this for nights out, date nights, hanging out with friends, or something of that nature. But again, I was just in the mood for it and the weather called for it, and this stuff is fire. From the house of Scent of Woods on Sunday, we went with plum and cognac on Sunday. All right, up next on Monday, we started off the vacation week. Few errands to run, delivering some things at the post office, running some errands, just getting the week started, and being excited, not having to go into work. But this fragrance worked. Again, start off the day really chilly, really cool. Very beautiful temperatures in the afternoon. Again, and this stuff just works like a charm, and that's what it did for me on Monday. From the house of Mancera, we went with Intense Cedrat Boise. Now, I have both versions. I have the original and I have the Intense. Do you need both? No. Such a fan of this DNA, and at the time, getting this just made all the sense of the world for me, and it still does, because I wear the original during the spring and summer, the warmer months, and I wear the Intense during the fall and the winter, the cooler months. Can both of these do work for all seasons and any time of year? Yes. You don't need both versions, all right, but I have both versions, and that's what we do with it. So I love how it separates, with this one being a little bit more denser, a little bit more heavier, performs like a true champion, and it's just excellent. I love the DNA. A lot of you guys love the DNA as well, and it just was perfect for what I had going on Monday. From the house of Mancera, we went with Intense Cedrat Boise. Yes, sir. All right. On Tuesday, pretty much, me and Ross had a live stream later on that evening, the night before. We kind of talked about it. So this choice was inspired by that conversation and that live stream. If you didn't see that live stream, I'll have it linked in the cards when this video wraps up. We talked about some of my favorite floral fragrances, and this stuff is the very best rose fragrance that I ever smelled. I had a doctor's appointment earlier in that day. The receptionist at the desk gave me a compliment, and just a simple, "Ooh, you smell good," as I was signing in and getting situated for my appointment. But this is great. The best rose fragrance in my collection. From the house of Zaharoff, we went with Signature Rosé. Signature Rosé from Zaharoff. Jammy, sugary, sweet, spicy, incense. rose fragrance. That's what this is. And the very first time that I smelled this and I experienced this, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Did not expect this when I finally got a chance to smell this a couple years back. But I will say it's just for all my fellas out there who are not too big on florals, right? You're not too big. I understand that. There's something for everybody. This is one I just challenge you to get your nose on. That incensey, slightly smoky rose infused with that jammy sweetness. The sugary, I think there's the note of sugar cane in here, I believe. The sugary textures as well. It's just the perfect blend. It's just the perfect blend, and this stuff is truly a 10 out of a 10, and the best rose fragrance that I've ever smelled. On Tuesday, performer. This stuff performs. From the house of Zaharoff, we went with signature rosé on Tuesday. On Wednesday, man, it was rainy, it was cool, it was windy, and I said to myself, well, so this is what I've been doing with the last couple of purchases, and to kind of wrap out the year. I've been getting things that I've had on, my list for like 2 to 3 years, and I've allowed other fragrances to skip over certain ones like Original Santal. I've been meaning to get Original Santal for a couple of years, and this is another one. So I revisited my Scentbird Decant, and I ordered the bottle later on that evening after a fantastic wear and being reminded how great this stuff is. From the house of Amouage on Wednesday, we went with Reflection Man. So here's my Scentbird Decant, 10 ml worth. And we put a little bit of a dent in this one thus far. And I've been sitting on this one for a little while now and been meaning to get Reflection Man. It is on the way. As a matter of fact, another day or so, it should be on my doorstep. And it's just the wearing, man. Like this spicy, earthy, floral, woods, musk. It's such a unique profile. And I know there's others, a Reflection 45 and different. To me, there's just nothing like the original. It's nothing like the original Reflection Man. It's nothing. It's just fantastic. It's so smooth. I take it that it's more. Well, not I take it as. I deem it for more of the more mature crowd, for ladies and for the fellas. I think it's a unisex scent that anybody can wear. But I tell you what, man, just the creation of Reflection Man is fantastic. I wore it all day on Wednesday, and I was just getting washed just throughout the day. I'm talking 9, 10, 11 hours into my day. I still get up kind of early to take my kids to school in the morning, then my day begins. So Christmas shopping, just running errands and different opportunities that we have on the way. This was a fragrance that I wore. I wore this and it just worked like a champ throughout the day. And I'm so glad that full bottle will be here. And it's been on my list for quite some time. I received a small sample of it when I first started on YouTube. When I first started on YouTube, I got a small sample of it, and it just had my attention ever since that day, but I had never added it to the collection until now. On Wednesday, from the house of Amouage, from my Scentbird Decant, we went with Reflection Man. Reflection Man. I know it's clashed with my studio light, but stuff is good, man. On Thursday, me and the wife got together and did some heavy duty Christmas shopping, you feel me? We was out here, getting as much done as we could before the boys get out of school. And God, I love this stuff. This is so underrated from the house of Xerjoff. It is criminal. It is terrible how underrated this is. I enjoy this more than a lot of the popular fragrances that get talked about a lot. And this is just one of those ones I highly recommend you guys getting the sample and seeing what this is about if you have not already. From the house of Xerjoff, we went with 1861 Decas. 1861 Decas. You kind of seen my relationship with Decas throughout since I've smelled it for the very first time on a live stream. I did a what's in the bag on this and smelled this live, and was just so blown away. This tobacco and slightly powdery and sweet, and it's just great, man. The iris in here is just fantastic, especially on the dry down. The iris really starts to show up. It's more of like a earthy iris. It doesn't, not that makeup baggy iris that a lot of us love, including myself. But this is just stellar. One of the best from the house. And I've smelled quite a bit from Xerjoff, but believe it or not, this is my only full bottle from the house. And I do have a couple others that I desire, and we'll get to those at some point, but this was a must for me. Before the year was over, this was a must for me to acquire this, and I got this for a great price over on Max Aroma when they were having some really good sales. And on Thursday, this is just amazing. Performance is spectacular. It ain't gonna be for everybody. I don't think so. So get a sample, get your nose on it, and see for yourself. But on Thursday, on a very cold day, it was that morning, me and my son walked out, and he was like, "Look at all the ice on the ground and on the roofs in our neighborhood." And I was like, "Yeah, it was really cold, you know." And with raining the day before, this stuff was just a beautiful masterpiece. It is from the house of Xerjoff. We're talking 1861 Decas. I love this stuff, man. This stuff is really, really good. All right. On Friday, we had a double whammy. 2 fragrances that we wore, that I wore. Friday morning, up, take the boys to school, day begins. All right. So did a little bit more Christmas shopping that morning. Me and my wife were prepping for a Christmas party that we were throwing at our place, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But we had a really good time preparing for the party. So running errands throughout the day. Went to T-Mobile, just kind of moving around, getting some stuff done. And this stuff was my choice of the day, and it was fantastic to be reminded of how great this is. From the house of Guerlain, L'Homme Ideal, the EDP. L'Homme Ideal EDP on Friday, first half of the day on Friday. At one point in time, this was the very best cherry fragrance that I have ever experienced. Right now, it is number 2. Of course, French to French for Mind Gains overtook this, but this does not mean that this is not as fantastic as it was when it was number 1 in the cherry department. Cherry, vanilla, leather, almond. It's just beautiful, man. It's just beautiful. Walked into Target to grab a couple of things, and the lady at the cash register, she was like, what are you wearing? Like, well, what is that? Like, you smell really, really good. And I told her what it was. She had never heard of it. But she was just kind of like, okay. Just based off my CIs as I was walking, like, as soon as I walked up to the cash register to check out, she didn't even say, did you enjoy your experience at none of that. Hey, what are you wearing? That was the first thing that she said. So I don't wear my fragrances to get compliments, but a compliment sure does feel good if somebody thinking that you're smelling fantastic, and that's what she let me know. But this stuff is just a beauty. It is a beauty. It gets overshadowed with all the different releases, and cherry is starting to be a note that is, everywhere. Everyone has a cherry fragrance. Everyone's doing something with cherry. But at one point in time, for me, there was only 2. It was Lost Cherry from Tom Ford. There was Guerlain's L'Homme Ideal EDP. Those were the only 2. And this is better than the Tom Ford to me. And it was in a fight for its life up against French Defense. But all in all, great wear. Enjoyed this a lot. Get your nose on this if you haven't. Fellas. I'm telling you, that leather in the base of this thing, that almond blended with that cherry and that vanilla. Great stuff. On Friday, first half of Friday, from the house of Guerlain, L'Homme Ideal, the EDP. The EDP. All right, and on Friday night, I took my son and his best friend to the movies to go see Moana 2, which was spectacular, by the way. It was spectacular. And it was cold, it was windy, and let's just say the surprise of the week was this fragrance. Not because I didn't know anything about it. I know this fragrance very well, but my wife's reaction to this, didn't see it coming. This wasn't the first time I wore it around her before, but I did not see this coming. From the house of Armani. Yes, Giorgio Armani. We have Armani Cold Absolute. Now this is a discontinued beauty here. Discontinued beauty. It's fruity, it's sweet, it's leathery, has a little bit of a spice to it as well. Not a little bit, that nutmeg comes out really, really sweet and spicy. But I was coming out of the room and getting ready to leave. Me and my son getting ready to walk out the door. And I wish I could have recorded it. She grabs my jacket and says, "Ooh, what's that? Is that new?" And I'm like, "Nah, it's not new." And she just just smell like, "God, you smell good." So I give her a kiss, getting ready to leave. And then she pulls me back. I'm thinking she wants another kiss. She's like, no, I just want to, just want to smell. Just want to keep smelling. And a telltale sign if she's been messing with my fragrance of the day, I have it stationed in a certain place in our bedroom, and I can tell if she moves it or if it's turned backwards, or I can tell. And of course, when I got home from the movies with my son, this indeed was out of place, because I guess she continued to smell it, or maybe even sprayed it on herself. But it's so sad that this is discontinued. It is sad that this is discontinued, but I'm fortunate enough to have a big backup bottle of this. I probably got about a quarter of this down. I've had this for a couple of years, but I will say this, and I'll leave this in the air. A lot of y'all who love Parfums de Marly, Layton, this right here stacks up against Layton, like for real. And if you have this bottle and you smell Layton, let me know if y'all revisit it. If you haven't, let me know what y'all think about that. This versus Layton is a WrestleMania main event. I'm just gonna leave that there. On Friday to the movies to see Moana, and apparently one of my wife's new favorites. We were with Giorgio Armani Code, and it's a shame that this is discontinued. All right, on Saturday to close out the week, me and the wife had a Christmas party at our place. We had a lot of our close friends and loved ones in attendance, and we had a blast. All right, so games and food, and just Christmas music, and just a lot of dope fun that we had on our Christmas party. And this is something that me and Soy are looking to do every year, to start a new tradition for us, because as we get older, it's kind of hard to kind of get everybody together with things. Everyone has things going on, kids and work and all kind of stuff. So if we can bring everybody together and kind of celebrate the holiday and put a bow on the year, that's what we're looking to accomplish there. And we did that, and we're going to keep doing it. So on our Christmas party on Saturday night, I had to wear a banger. From the house of Rosé. We went with Amber Aoud. Now this is the Crystal Parfum edition, as my juice has no dye. It's the same juice as the that dark brown bourbonish color in the original. This one just has no dye in it, but a huge rose and amber and oud. The yellow floral representation really comes out. And I'm not the biggest fan of yellow florals. I'm not Yangalang, and so I'm not the biggest fan, but the way that this is blended with the rose and the oud and the amber, it's stellar. It's stellar. And I've smelled this on the previous live stream about a year ago, and I vowed to have a bottle of this, and I was so fortunate enough to gain this bottle via trade. I had to trade something out. I'm not going to tell you what I traded for right now, but I traded something out to acquire this fragrance, and I'm so glad to have it. Honestly, it was an easy let go for me of what I traded it for to acquire this, and this was my scent of the night during the holiday party and Christmas party, and it was fantastic. On Saturday to close out the week for the Christmas party, we went with the Rosé Amber Aoud, and this is the Crystal Parfum edition. The Crystal Parfum edition. All right, so that is going to wrap up the week. All right, and like I said, I thought I had a really solid week. All right, so let me know down below in the comments, what was your week like? What did you wear? What did you love? What was new? What did you end up not liking anymore? Whatever your week was, I love to read your guys' rotations. A lot of y'all come through with the rotation, and look forward to seeing what you guys got going on in your collections and what you're wearing throughout the week. All right, so I appreciate all the love and support. I don't take it for granted at all. We're coming down to the end of the year, and it's just awesome, man, to be able to be in this beautiful hobby of fragrances and then tie them with these memories like the Christmas party. All right, so just really dope, and hopefully y'all enjoyed the video, and we'll see y'all on the next one. As always, splack it up, splack it down, splack it that thing all around. And remember, what you put out to this world is exactly what you're going to get back. Positive energy and positive vibes. How about you practice that? That's kind of a bar. But we'll get back to it. Peace, y'all. Till next time. Splack.